afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. Happy Thursday, one day away from the weekend. And it's going to be quite an exciting weekend because we're expecting rain across the country, which we really, really do need. And of course, there's an exciting race day happening on Saturday in Cape Town, which is also going to be huge. The biggest one of the year, apparently, ever. Now, today we are taking a look at two design companies that are both run by mother-daughter teams. Now, first up is a label that creates luxury African-inspired accessories and bags called One of Each. Then we sit down with the creators of Zana, which screen prints all sorts of beautiful fabrics and pillows and a whole bunch of amazing other stuff too. You definitely want to look at that. But that's not all. We are also joined today by an entrepreneur called Lubabalo Leve, who started the fragrance line BU Fragrances. Plus, we have a giveaway to announce later on, so stay tuned for that. Now, fragrances, I mean, smelling things. There's so much nostalgia that a smell holds. I remember when I was coming up with my own fragrance line, I went on a trip to Venice and we took this gondola into a bookshop that you could only access this bookshop by the gondola. And I remember all of these incredible smells of books, and I'll never ever forget that smell till today. So today on social media, we're actually asking you, what memories do you have that are linked to a specific smell? It could be good, it could be bad, whatever it is. But you know that moment where you smell something and it triggers your memory back to something that you could have experienced before. So let us know on our Facebook page. All you need to do is comment on Afternoon Express or tweet us at Afternoon Chat using our official hashtag Afternoon Express. Speaking about smells, the aromas coming out of our kitchen today are simply splendid.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to it. I'm Jeannie Mbuli. Now, so speaking of all this luxurious scent and fabrics and colors, we're making something quite fitting in the kitchen, right?
It is. We're doing some Asian tempura green vegetables.
That is so yummy. I love tempura, period. But there's quite an art to it, right?
There is. I always say it's the art of tempura because it's not just deep frying. There's a science to it.
No,
so you got to get it right. And today we're going to teach you how to do it just right.
Okay, I can't wait. You're going to take us through it, so we're going to get to it, actually.
Let's get started.
Awesome.
So what I've got is, I've got my oil on the heat already. I'm going to set it down slightly. And we spoke about it being a type of an art because it's very different to just normally deep frying.
Right.
There's a bit of like a skill that goes into it. It's not too complicated, but there's a few steps you have to like follow through. So what I've got in here is some tempura flour on the plate. And you can get this at Woolies. This is really, really awesome. It's so amazing. You can go there, and now you can literally travel the world through the aisles of Woolies because they've got a beautiful, beautiful Asian section, which I've got almost everything from today. Or actually, everything came from there.
What's distinctly different about tempura flour?
It's the lightness. Normally, when we end up deep frying something, it kind of adds a bit of a heaviness to it. That's why you don't always think about a deep fried food when it comes to summer. Tempura, 100% summer. Because
it's light.
Crispy. Even the color itself is lighter compared to normal deep fried foods. So let's get straight into it. So I'm going to pop this on the side. I've got these beautiful green vegetables from Woolies that I'm absolutely loving right now. It's the tender stem broccoli.
I love
and the tender stem asparagus, which is it's in season right now, and it's amazingly good.
It is. It is.
I mean, go raw if you want.
Proper tender stem.
It's so tender. So tender. Which is why it works so well.
You can just munch on those stems
all day.
Yeah.
Which is why it works so well with tempura, because with tempura you don't want to cook things for too long. It's quick. It's in, get a bit of that, like the texture, and then out. I've also got some delicious green beans. I cannot get enough of green beans. I'm kind of like being real mindful of what I'm eating right now. And green beans is just one of those vegetables that you can just indulge on. Green beans, a little bit of butter, a little bit of lemon juice, and you're so sorted. Like a bowl, happiness. So try it, go for that. It's so amazing.
Are all vegetables temperable?
No, there's certain things I wouldn't do. Like, I'm trying to think about like things like potato.
Butternut you wouldn't do.
Butternut, if you could, if it's very thinly sliced.
Starches.
The trick is to use vegetables that don't take too long to cook.
Right.
So if you can cook it, cut it thin enough and it's going to cook, then perfect.
Okay.
That's to cook for about 45 seconds to a minute. And that's when it's got to be good.
Okay.
Let's just grab this bowl from you over here.
This one.
And we're going to make our tempura batter. So the liquid that you're using for your tempura batter always has to be cold. This is where the science comes in. So you want your batter to be cold, so when it hits the hot oil, there's a temperature reaction to being really cold, all of a sudden very, very hot, and that's when you get that crispness in there.
Right, okay.
So you can even add ice to your batter, that works. But I just like going with soda water that's been in the fridge for some time, or even the freezer.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. So soda water also, it just gives it that lightness again to it. But now soda water, you know, you gotta turn it once, close it, and then open again.
Is that how you do it?
Always, because it gets everywhere if you don't. There we go, give it a nice mix. And you're also trying to get it to the consistency of pancake batter. So when you're making pancakes, that's the viscosity or the thickness that you want.
Ooh, that's a new word.
Yeah. So I've dusted the vegetables in some tempura flour to act as like a sticking agent. So the batter really sticks onto it. Let me put this to the side over here. Whoop. Get some everywhere. And you can be real fancy right now and you can start using tongs. I'm going to start by using my hands just to kind of like best explain it.
For the asparagus, okay.
So that's well coated in the tempura flour.
I see that.
Oh, wait, I almost forgot.
What?
My spin. Black sesame seeds.
Oh, yeah, black sesame seeds.
They go just as toasty as normal sesame seeds, and they add like extra crunch and flavor to your batter.
Okay, cool.
Looking good. So asparagus. Just in that batter. You can actually taste it first by dropping a little bit of the batter in the oil. If it starts sizzling like that, you're so good to go.
Is there any other thing you can add besides the sesame seeds, like flaked almonds?
I would say something like spices are really great.
Spices?
Almonds or nuts tend to cook too quickly and they go bitter.
Burn.
Yeah. So try chilies, dried chili flakes.
Ooh.
So
Always
that'll be so good. Even dry garlic flakes or dry ginger flakes. Then you're getting really fragrant. And again, we're talking about sense of a smell today. That's one way to make a kitchen smell like seriously amazing.
Absolutely.
So again, the green beans go in. And it's very quick. So tempura, the difference between tempura and deep frying is you're not looking for a deep brown color. You want it to just, it's a texture thing. So if you can pass the board in the end with a paper towel, you can pass the whole board. Tempura is a texture thing. So what happens is the batter crisps up, the vegetables cook inside, but it's not going to turn brown.
You don't want it to be golden.
No, if you're waiting for it to turn brown, you're going to be waiting forever. And you're going to end up with overcooked vegetables.
And then you'll overcook your veggies.
What's also really great, because you're cooking it so fast, the actual batter itself and the vegetables don't absorb all that oil. That's why I'm saying tempura in summer.
Smell. Of
Smell,
deep frying
exactly.
flour.
And someone walked in today into the loft and was like, "We're cooking something Asian," and it's so amazing how some certain signature smells like immediately like trigger that reaction, and you know what's coming.
Absolutely.
And that's very important when it comes to cooking, because you don't just cook with your eyes or with your hands. It's all your senses that are involved when you're putting a dish together.
And all your emotions.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to keep on doing this. Very important, don't chuck all your vegetables into the oil at once, because if you're doing that, you're going to drop the temperature of your oil.
Okay.
And then you're going to literally have a bit of a mess in your pan. So cook in batches.
Cool.
And you're going to get perfectly cooked and crispy vegetables.
Okay, cool. So we're going to be frying up more of those, and later on we'll be making a sauce. And the keyword to this recipe is green. SMS the keyword to 33650, and you'll get a list of ingredients and a link to the recipe. SMSs cost R1.50. No free SMSs apply. Let's pop over to see what Jeannie has to say.
That looks absolutely yummy, yummy, yummy in my tummy, tummy, tummy. I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. Still to come on Afternoon Express, we interview the mother-daughter duo from One of Each. That's up next.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. You're live on SABC3. Our first guests today are not only business partners, but also mother and daughter. Pauline and Tamburai Chirume joined forces to form One of Each, which celebrates and shares African history to the world by creating a range of luxury accessories. Sounds delicious. Welcome to the loft. Hello.
Thank you so much for coming through today. Now, I totally understand the combo. I totally relate to the idea of getting into business with your mom. It's the one person in the world that you literally genetically programmed to love and trust more than anyone else on the planet. So how did you guys join forces to start One of Each?
Okay, so we moved to South Africa when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And my mom and I have always worked together. So my mom can speak for herself in terms of what she does and how we came about doing this together.
When we came here, it was very difficult.
Yeah.
Because,
From Zimbabwe
From
initially.
Zimbabwe, yes. Yeah. It was difficult, I don't want to lie, because I couldn't speak closer. And we were staying in Sea Point. And my children were very young. No any relatives around. It was very hard. But it makes me feel strong as a woman because I can say I'm strong now because some other people, like other women, they can't do it. And what helps me a lot, my husband was in a travel, and then we used to travel a lot, all over the world. And then that's how I become very strong, because I saw a lot of different things in the world, which makes me think being creative more.
Exactly.
That's why I'm in this company with my daughter now.
So we never decided that we would become business partners. People have packaged it for us because the question always comes up, but we've just, you know, it happened naturally.
Because you've worked with your mum from when, or kind of came up with business ideas with your mum from when you were like 15 years old. Yes. So it was kind of an organic progression for you. But what did you initially do that made you spark off with these designs? Okay, so I worked in retail for some time. I developed a love for fashion and style because of my mom. She's a very fashionable lady. So I picked that up because we spent so much time together all the time. No cousins, not, you know...
Was it just the two of you for a long time?
Yes, but I have two older brothers. Okay. But, you know, I just then developed a love for fashion, and people would just, you know, always ask, you know, who did this for you? And I'd be like, oh, my mom made it for me. And then someone would say, could I also get one? And I think that's how the concept has evolved to become what we have now.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. And you called it one of each because you never make two of the same thing, am I correct?
Yes.
Wow. So can I see some of your merchandise that you've brought along? Now, something that really stood out for me in your mission statement is you speak about creating a balance of innovation and wisdom.
Yes.
It's very rare that somebody talks about wisdom in their mission statement in terms of fashion or design. Yeah. Why that?
I think if you look at our relationship, it's got to do with wisdom. You know, my mom, I'm speaking for her right now, but she's a mother to everybody. She's a mother to my friends. She's a mother to anybody who she meets. You know, so like when she creates product, I think it's got a lot of wisdom in it and a lot of love and passion. It's just not like I've created something. Yeah. So I think that's where the wisdom element comes in, because, you know, we need to share our history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what are your roles within the business? Because I think I'm a huge believer like in anything, in a business, in a relationship, in a marriage, you've got to have very clearly defined roles for it to become successful. So what are your roles within the business?
I'm a head designer, and I just come out with creative things. If I see something, or if I think of something, then I just think, can I just try to do, you know, something with special pieces. If I see some, like, pieces around wherever I go, I just pick, like, when there's in the market, if I see even leather, pieces of leather, I just pick leather, and then I just think of that leather. What can I do to, you know, like, to sell or to make people happy? Because
then you get unique design elements from that. That's so exciting.
It's basically more of like creating something out of nothing, because there's a great need for that right now.
Yeah, absolutely, which is quite an African theme.
Yes.
I mean, and African fabrics have become quite popular, or people have become more aware of them because they've always been around, right? But what is it about them that is so unique that you think draws people from all over the world?
My mom always says colour is therapeutic.
Colours.
Yeah.
Colours. When I travel, when I see fabric with more colours, it just attracts me to buy. That's how I feel. It also
makes you happy. Colour makes you happy.
It is also healing. It makes you happy.
And it makes you hopeful.
Yes.
Right?
And you are spreading that happiness literally all over the world. So you've got clients from Italy, Germany. I mean, how do they access your product?
So we've managed to be on different platforms. To go to the US at trade shows and you know, events.
You guys travel together, right?
The designer travels because she knows her product.
Sometimes, yes. But if she wants to come with me, sometimes we just go together. Yeah. But I always travel because I know my product. Then
she's the designer, and they want to meet the designer all the time.
Right. Yeah. That's incredible.
Are there any pros and cons with working together? Like, just sometimes, I mean, because you know what it's like. Sometimes you'll have an argument with your mom, but it's fine almost.
Yeah, my mom and I have been having arguments. I would never be in a company with my mom. We'd kill each other.
We always talk about it because we've never, ever have any arguments
Yeah.
between us, yes.
No,
seriously.
It's serious.
It's not like
we
just saying
You're not just saying this.
Why though? Is it mutual respect, or do you just
Is it a
think the same
temperament
way?
thing? Perhaps it's a
Our
temperament thing.
roles are very defined.
Yeah.
So my mom is the design and the product lady. I understand the product, I add value to it, but I am the seller. You know, so I understand what she does, she and my mom understands what I do. And because of growing up together, like, you know, me growing up with her and being so close, it's been so easy to connect and be able to say, oh no, but mom, like, I think this and that, and for her to tell me the truth, but not in a I'm disciplining you way. Okay. So I think there's also like a lesson for parents to also learn, like the mother and daughter relationship.
You guys are so sweet. You make me want to have a daughter.
Oh, Bonnie, have a daughter. I mean, I love this. I'm so excited to travel all over the world and see these prints everywhere. I mean, imagine. Oh, okay, so we asked you on social media if there was any kind of nostalgic smell, and upon smelling it, what kind of memory did it bring back? So let's have a look at some of your responses. Let's zoom. Otsapeng says the smell of slabby, saucy chips during the festive season always reminded me of the... Is it slabby chips? Or slab chips. At our campus's cafeteria and students' lunch. Yeah, love. Iketeng says the smell of our hospital just reminds me of when my angel was born, the best moment ever in my life. Oh, that's so sweet. Then Mungani says the smell of gammon or turkey during Christmas reminds me of my late granny. She used to make the tastiest turkey ever. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love smells like that.
What's
that
your
remind you of the
favourite
granny. Mine is the smell of books.
Oh, yeah.
Like
The
really.
pages of books, huh?
And the other one is frangipanis. Reminds me of holiday.
Really?
The smell of the
And
frangipani
your
flower.
worst?
My worst smell is eyelash glue. It smells like frog fizz.
My worst one is marzipan.
Really?
Every time I smell marzipan, it makes me think, why am I here in that place? I'm like, what am I doing here? It smells of boredom for me. Coming up after the break, we're joined by another mother-daughter design team who specialise in something called screen printing, and we'll be taking a look at how that works. Don't go away.
Just smelling my eyes.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We hope that you are having a glorious afternoon and that you are ready to be inspired with us this afternoon in the loft. Now, our second guests today are also a mother-daughter duo, and together they created the brand Zana. Having grown significantly since 2012, they now make everything from cushions, furniture, to bedding, to kitchen accessories, bags and purses. Plus, they host regular workshops at their studio in Cape Town where they teach anyone how to design and complete screen printing.
Wow,
Amazing.
welcome to the loft.
Thank you.
What is screen printing?
So screen printing is basically the way that most things that you buy nowadays and they have a print on it, how they get the print onto the fabric. So it's a method of using a mesh where you draw ink down the mesh and the print transfers through the mesh onto the fabric, creating whatever design or pattern you would like.
Is it the same as when you were a kid and you would get those badges that you would put something over it and then iron the badge onto a... No,
Not true. That's more of like a glue application.
Okay.
This is a little bit more of a technical process. That's why we teach it in our workshops. It's quite hard to learn how to do on your own.
Wow.
But you use that mesh. It's got a metal outside and then a mesh, and it's got a design put on it, and then you drag the ink through, and where the areas of the ink goes through creates the pattern that is left behind on the fabric underneath.
Amazing. So let's start off with, tell us about Zana.
Okay, well, I can come in here. Basically, Zana is a nickname from my youth, because my name is actually Suzanne, and I have a Greek uncle-in-law. That's right. And he used to call me Zana as a nickname growing up. So when we started the business, I thought, what's a nice sort of name with a bit of association? And we came up with Zana. So that's where it's come from.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And how did it come about that you guys ended up working together? What were your specific backgrounds and how do they complement each other in the business now?
I was always involved in production, digital print and producing stuff, and in a sewing factory. So that's my background. and I wanted to make a product that we could sell. So I was keen to make cushions and things like that, but my design skills are not very good. So that's where my daughter came in, and she came up with some design ideas while she was still at college and while I still had another job. And we just merged our skills at that point, and Robin came up with great designs. I finished them because I can sew and I can print and that sort of thing. And then, yeah, we decided how to sell them. Robin came up with a marketing plan, because I'm more of the production background kind of behind-the-scenes person, and Robin's more the marketeer. And that's how it started.
And is this now your full-time job?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean,
for about 4
that's
years.
quite a degree, quite a level to get to. From just
Yes.
mom and dad, mom and daughter, doing like hobbyist kind of things at home, coming up with an idea, to eventually relinquish your security from other places. And then, I mean, that must have been quite a tough journey.
It was, especially for me, where I had to make a shift from a secure job to taking quite a risk. Plus, from Robin's side, she had to decide after finishing her degree whether to go into a more corporate, steady job with a steady income, or to risk it with a new venture. So that took a little while for Robin to decide, and I don't think she regrets her decision now.
No,
you don't regret it?
Banking on mom.
I have the freedom.
Yeah.
And she has the experience of all the years working in a company with lots of employees, which I don't really have that much, but I've learned a lot from her. She's the queen of delegation, I always say. She's so good at like training staff, and like she's really skilled at that. So I always look to her to learn new things about my job.
What aspects of your personalities and your relationship as mother and daughter aid the business, and which ones do you have to constantly work at, perhaps? Or do you also never fight like our other couples were here earlier?
What do you think, Rob?
We both have quite strong personalities. I think that's why we're successful, but I also think it can... like she always tells me I should wear more lipstick more often. Like
she's right.
We have arguments because I don't like to wear lipstick, and then there's a film crew coming to us, and she's like, "Put on that lipstick," and I'm just like, oh, why? So those are the things we argue about.
There's nothing red lips can't fix.
Yeah,
That's what I
that's
said.
true.
So that's what we argue about, not really work-related stuff. We're quite normally agree, and I trust her side. We do different roles. So what she knows about, I agree, and what I know about, she agrees, and we're fine with that. It's more personal stuff.
We've decided that we trust each other. We've kind of figured out. Robin definitely knows more about design and trends and marketing and, you know, that side, and I've got my skill set, and we respect each other with that.
So then how did the workshops come about?
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a very successful business selling products. We wholesale all over the world. We've been doing screen printed products for quite a number of years. I think it was 3 years. And then a lot of people locally were asking us, where can I learn how, can you guys teach us how to screen print? How do I start a business like yours? How do you do it? And then we thought, well, we wanted sometimes to have a break from what you do every day. So we started to market a workshop, and we've done them now in Cape Town, Joburg, Durban, and we teach classes of 10 to 12 people. And yeah, we do it on a Saturday and a Sunday. It's a one-day workshop, so you can come either on a Saturday or a Sunday. And then we teach people, all types of people. Some people are wanting to start their own businesses, small businesses, they need a break. Or we get like highly qualified people in the corporate world that are just like looking for a fun thing to do that's different, that you can't just do anywhere else. So we train all, like family members, mother, daughters as well. They come, a lot of them. Sisters.
Husband, wife.
Well, let's have a look and see how it works, because I know I'm really curious, and I know Bonnie's curious to see how this printing
you might
works.
want to go on a little course or two.
Today I'm going to be showing you a little bit about our screen printing demo. You would need a design that you want to print. We use a piece of vinyl as a resist, a screen with mesh, a squeegee, a spatula, some masking tape, pencil and a scalpel, some ink that you would want to print with, and your piece of fabric that you want to print on. First I start with my doodled pattern, and I transfer that onto my vinyl, and then I'll use my scalpel to cut it out in order for us to use it as a resist onto the screen.
Now I'm going to stick the vinyl to the middle of the screen. Once the vinyl is on your screen and you've rubbed it down, you then have to block out the remaining exposed screen with masking tape, otherwise the ink will actually go through there. So what you do now is you've got your fabric panel on your surface, and you plan a little bit visually where you're going to put your repeat patterns. And then I grab my ink and I put 3 tablespoons across the top of my image. I then grab my squeegee and I grab a third of the ink and I start to silk screen.
So when you print on this piece of fabric, you can take it home, you can frame it, you can sew it up into anything you want. Today we are going to be taking this and sewing it up into a scatter cushion, and we'll just be doing that here in our studio.
And I do love a dramatic reveal. Da-dun, da-dun. I mean, isn't that gorgeous?
That's beautiful. I love
there
that
you
green.
go. So do you feel that working with each other has strengthened the mother and daughter relationship?
I think it has. We spend more time together. So I think we sort of pick up on each other's moods and can kind of tell when it's a good day and when it's a bad day. So I think, yeah, we're a little bit more sensitive to each other, but I don't think it's in a negative way because we give each other space, even if we
like to talk about work all the time, like at Christmas dinner, you know, the family has to stop us because we talk about work all the time. But we love what we do, and I think as an adult, I would never get to see my mom as much as I would now that I have the chance to work with her. And it's nice to work with someone who's a support system in your life. And yeah, we just respect and trust each other, which I think is really nice.
Stunning.
That's
Well, we love
lovely.
what you do as well.
Thank you, guys.
You might come on a little course.
Yeah, you do very well. You're super creative. Okay, let's head to social media. Social. And the reason why we're asking you this is because a little bit later we're going to be tackling the story of smell and some fragrances. So we asked you, you know, if you've got any powerful memories attached to any particular scent, and what are they? So let's go over here. You want to
Let's
start?
see, what do we have?
Yeah.
Kauzela JJ says there's a certain perfume of which I don't know its name, thank you, but I came across it passing by some lady, thank you again, and it reminded me of my girlfriend, who we are in a long distance relationship. Oh, thank you so much, JJ. A little bit more detail next time would help. Paul Princely says there's this lovely smell of books and crayons at primary school that reminds me of the nice memories I had. That's similar to what you said. Zaldine says, when I smell burning rubber, I slam back to a time when I was in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
Not such a cool smell back. Hashtag black flashback. But when it comes to something kind of better is when I smell burnt hair. I think about Fritos chips, or if I smell my husband's feet, it reminds me of knickknacks. Also, the smell of Fritos chips. That's crazy. Thanks, Zaldine. That is quite astonishing.
I recommend your husband go get himself a little pedicure.
Yeah. And speaking of beautiful scents, after the break, we sit down with Lubabalo Leve, the founder of BU Fragrances. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, one of my favorite sayings is nothing in the world smells as good as the person you love. Now, today we are definitely discussing beautiful prints and our beautiful scents. And we are joined now by a man who's in the business of smelling great. Lubabalo Leve, the CEO and founder of the BU Fragrances. Welcome.
Welcome,
Good afternoon,
Lubabalo.
Jeannie.
So how did you decide that you wanted to go into the business of making people smell great?
I was fortunate enough to have worked for a big fragrance manufacturer, and basically I was a key account in the fragrance industry. And upon doing a lot of research in your mainstream retail stores, I found out that I think about 80% or 90% of the fine fragrances that you get in mainstream retail are actually exported fragrances. And I asked myself the question, why can't we do it? I mean, this is our market, this is South Africa. And from there onwards, obviously, I did my own market research, and I decided to start my own perfume line.
Yeah. I love the industry. I had my own, and I have my own fragrance as well, and I think it is absolutely amazing. And the process of it is really amazing as well. Why did you decide on the name BU?
It actually comes from the fact that I think most of us, if you wake up in the morning, or when you wake up in the morning, when you've put on all your makeup, you've done everything, the last touch to yourself before you walk out of your place is putting on the fragrance, right? And usually, depending which fragrance you use, but it gives you that oomph. You know, it gives you that moment that I am myself right now, and I'm going to be smelling good. So the name, I was actually capturing that moment where if you could always be on that natural high, you know, which after you just put on your fragrance, if you could, because that's where you're most confident.
Yeah.
So I believe that calling my fragrance Be You, you know, that's that moment where you're like, yes, I'm ready to tackle the world.
Oh, yeah.
If you could always be that person, you'd probably be 10 times the kind of person that you are right now.
Wow. And through your research and making your scents and choosing which scent, which smells are going to go into which bottle,
Yes.
which scents are people most drawn to and why?
I think for the South African market, for men, it's mostly your aromatic fragrances and also your citrus kind of fragrances, so your fresh scents, basically. And you'll find that with the older generation, they mostly go for woodies. Now, that's mostly driven by the market that we're in. In another industry or in another country or in another continent, they prefer different scents. Same as with the ladies' fragrances as well. And fortunately, there's market intelligence that will tell you that this kind of a fragrance direction is the most selling one.
Yeah.
You know, so it also gives an idea that, look, this is what the market prefers.
Okay, I want to know, and now we're getting the inside scoop, is it true that there are different kinds of hormones and pheromones in scents so that when you smell a male fragrance, it makes you go, and when a man smells a lovely female's fragrance, he also goes,
Yeah, which...
Is that true?
It is true.
I'm sure, Jeannie. I'm sure you can explain that to us.
No, but don't you know, like when somebody
I'm
walks
teasing, of
past you,
course.
especially of the opposite sex, and they smell really nice, it makes them appear a lot more attractive.
Absolutely,
Absolutely true.
I mean, part of you wanting to smell yourself smelling good, you want to... It attracts other people. I mean, I'm sure...
You always
The
smell
compliments
great.
that you
I think I
get.
always
Oh,
smell
thank you.
The compliments that you get.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because the funny part is, most of my customers, it's mostly guys as compared to, you know, your normal fragrances where the ladies' line will be the most popular.
Yeah.
With my brand portfolio, my men's perfumes are the most moving.
Oh, really?
And the kind of stories that the guys will tell you that, yo, I was somewhere and this was the kind of compliment that I got. I want that perfume each and every day. I'm not going to change.
Wow.
So there is that part of it.
So do you have any with us? Do you have any with you? I'd like to
yes.
smell some. Let's see if those reactions are true. And then what is the correct way? Like, okay, what is the correct way to put on perfume or whatever in the day? Like, are you supposed to Portuguese shower like that? Or just, like what I like to do is just a little bit dot and dot behind the ears? Or are you meant to rub it in on your, what are these things called?
On your wrists.
Wrists.
Apparently that's wrong. Apparently you shouldn't rub it.
You shouldn't because it's destroying the molecules of the perfume. But what I always say to people is that the way I put on my fragrance is that I'll spray it into the air and then walk into it. And then that way you let it literally shower you, right?
Oh, wow.
But people are different. You know, some people perspire differently to me and you. So they need to put fragrance on the warmer spots. For instance, like on their wrists, they'll put it here, and most ladies will actually even put it behind.
I'm an ego.
Behind their knees.
Why?
Because that's a heat thing.
Yes.
So the more heat it emits, the more the fragrance comes in.
Yes.
I mean, I put that stuff.
It allows the
everywhere.
fragrance to evolve.
Nice. But I mean, who's going to smell your knees?
Well, a lot of people end up smelling my knees.
That escalated quickly.
Right.
Okay, so what are we going to do? Where do you want to put it?
So this is our men's one.
Okay. I don't mind smelling like a man.
So that's our men's
I like
one.
men.
And that's our citrus woody fragrance.
Ooh.
That is actually...
How hot am I right now to you? Are you
So
attracted
hot
to me?
right now.
1 to 10, are you attracted to me?
So that's my most popular fragrance at the moment.
Great.
I love that.
Ideally, what we did is that we decided on a fragrance that would work on the warm seasons and also in the cold seasons as well. So we took citrus notes and we combined them with some spice, some nutmeg. So you'll smell that when you start smelling it on the top note. You smell a bit of citrus, but then again it quickly disappears and then you start smelling a bit of spice. You're probably picking up the nutmeg. And then at the bottom, we've also got some woody notes as well.
Yeah.
So it works sort of like in all seasons, instead of being a singular
summer or a winter.
Yeah, you see, I've got summer
I'd love to
fragrances
smell
and
your
winter
females
smells.
one as well.
Yeah, do you have?
And then the
That'd be
ladies one.
nice.
We can just smell.
This one is called Aspire. So this is ideally what we have for the summer seasons.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Very sweet.
Nice.
It's nice and sweet, but it's also clean. So it doesn't have that
Yes,
wexiness.
it does have the clean.
Where, you know, it feels like it's going to stay on you, and
Exactly.
if you come and sit
It's
next
quite
to
fresh.
it's very nice
Yeah,
and fresh.
yeah.
Nice and fresh. So if you are in the market for a new fragrance, now's your lucky chance. Today we are giving away a set of BU fragrances to one lucky viewer. So simply SMS the keyword Express, your name and city to 33650. SMSs are R1.50 each. T's and C's apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Smell
much.
great.
Lovely to have you with us. Now, from smelling good to looking good, back to work is a very real thing. But ladies, the summer season is far from over. And that's why we've recruited beauty blogger Cynthia Gwebu to showcase one of the hottest trends in summer makeup right now, the sunset eye. It's all things big and bright in today's beauty desk tutorial. Check it out.
Hi guys, my name is Cynthia. I'm a beauty blogger from cynthiagwebu.com. Today I'm at the Woolworths Beauty Desk talking to you all about eyes. So the sunset eye makeup trend is what's hot right now for summer. Let's get into it. We're starting off with this amazing palette, and this is Sunset Eyes Galore, and it has beautiful warm shades in it. So we're gonna start off with this burgundy sort of powder shade here. We're taking this burgundy beautiful shade, and we're gonna put this in the crease area just above the lid. We're just going in circular motions. It just aids in the blending process, just to diminish all of those harsh lines. For the second color, we're going in on the lids, and we're using the shade called Adventurous, still in the same compact, and it's a beautiful copper shimmery shade. I really love these sorts of finishes for this time of the year. It's very festive and quite summery at the same time. So we're just packing on some product, dabbing off the excess, and applying it to the lid. So repeating the same step on the next eye, well, the only other eye. And just note that the technique I'm using is dabbing. I'm pressing the product in, especially when it comes to shimmer. If you really want it to stand out, you want to dab it in as opposed to just swiping it everywhere. So the beautiful thing about sunset looks is that you're meant to do a mirror sort of image, because when the sun sets, you see the reflection of the sunset in water. So you want your bottom lash line to match your top. So I'm going back in with this burgundy shade I started off with, and just concentrating this on the lower lash line. Repeating on the next eye. I'm normally a lashes girl. I love my long lashes, but today I'm just gonna go straight into mascara, and I'm loving this one from Woolies. This is the 3-in-1 mascara in black. It is blacker than black, so I'm really obsessed with it. And the trick of applying mascara to ensure that it doesn't smudge all over your lid is to actually look down and apply it. And that's the finished look. No mascara on the bottom lashes. You want a very awake appearance, especially for summertime. If you are going at night, however, you can add a bit of drama and smoke it out at the bottom. But for this look, for daytime, it's all about open eyes.
Well, that was absolutely gorgeous. The sunset eye. I love that look.
What do you
That's
think of
definitely
it?
one of my favorite. I love the sunset eye.
So it's basically you put shimmer on your lower lash,
Yeah.
and it matches the highlight area.
Exactly.
And it's got to like pop.
And then
basically.
whatever's on that highlighted area is the bottom for like a reflection. But it definitely does make the eye pop. And something that she gave, which is a really, really great hint, mascara must be very black. Like often you get mascara and then you put it on and then it goes like a grey colour. It's not black
True
enough.
though,
But
yeah.
for it to pop, it needs to be jet
Absolutely,
black.
yeah, I agree. Now, after the break, we get fragrant in the kitchen with part 2 of our Asian-inspired green vegetable tempura. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're back in the kitchen now. While on the break, I got to taste a little bit of the crunchy bits. You know, the ones that the stray crunchy bits of the tempura.
I think that's like
incredible.
That's like the canapé before you get the tempura. You got to stack those little crunchy bits. But let's make the sauce.
But we're going to make the sauce now to top it all off.
I'm going to make two sauces. The first one's going to be sriracha mayo, because we love sriracha so much. First things first, a little bit of creamy mayo goes in. And then this one's, they're both going to be spicy, but I think this one I'll do spicy level 5.
Okay, spicy level 5.
That's a thing.
Sriracha doesn't last in our place.
Yeah, I got so many bottles.
They put it on everything. Crackers, cheese.
It's just the way, because it just goes so well with everything.
And then the boys have sriracha competitions to see who can take the most sriracha without needing to drink water. So,
are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, and
that's how it goes at my house.
I'm moving in. So a little bit of lime, you can use lemon. That goes in there. That's just that acidity again to bring out the flavors of everything else. I'm gonna grab a little bit of coriander.
Absolutely.
And that's the freshness.
Nice.
Just chop it nice and not too fine, because you want a little bit of like texture in there.
Right, yeah.
Cool, in like that.
You're mixing it in.
Mix it in.
Oof, yummy.
So simple.
Yummy,
Sriracha
yummy.
and coriander mayo. Done.
Okay.
There we go. Now the next one is my favorite, because the next one's got like heat level 9.
On fleek.
9.
Okay.
Cool. So I've got some sambal ulek. What do you know about sambal ulek?
Nothing.
Okay.
You're going to tell me, aren't you?
It's a chili and garlic sauce. You can smell. It's hot, but it's hot with that delicious flavor in there.
Yes.
So it's not just that straight up heat. This has got like some serious flavor. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. No kids in the loft today, right?
No kids.
Why did I even like change? I should just use this bowl.
Yeah.
There we go. And
I want to match it up, I guess.
Exactly. So I've got some sweet plum sauce. Now this stuff is amazing. This is new at Woolies.
Basting sauce, Chinese
and it
style,
really
plum and
has
orange.
a delicious, sweet, smoky flavor.
Put it on everything, really.
Basically.
Yeah.
So let me just open it up. It's so new, we didn't even take the label off just yet.
I know, right? So you can use it as a basting sauce if you're frying, if you're grilling, everything.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This works really well because with this actual sauce, it cuts through all the heat and adds a bit of sweetness to it. And I've also got a little bit of garlic.
Garlic.
And a little bit of ginger.
And ginger, okay.
And that's really cool. That's just that intense flavor.
Oh,
because I mean,
so healthy too.
It is. We got that tempura, so the tempura's got like quite a delicious flavor. These are just to like boost all those extra flavors on the plate.
Okay, perfect.
Just like that. And why not a little bit of lemon on the side? Oh, sorry, the extra squeeze of lime, I mean.
Absolutely.
And that's just
that's
our
it,
dish.
right?
Party done.
Wow, what a good looking setup. Now the keyword for this recipe is green. SMS the keyword to 33650 and there you'll find the list of ingredients and the link to the recipe. SMSs cost R1.50. No free SMSs apply. And if you missed any of this, here's a quick, sweet recap. Well, there was your recap to this delicious food. This is for all of you. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for our amazing gifts. I think somebody took them away.
I've still got mine.
Have you still got yours?
Yes, thank you.
You so much. That
Thank
was
you
so
so
sweet
much.
of you.
I
And
love
all the
them.
best for your businesses. And thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today.
It's been an amazing show. Now, coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we're featuring strong women doing unique things, including a single mom who's a firefighter and a tax attorney who moonlights as a kickboxer. I mean, that's just amazing. Absolutely. Can't wait for tomorrow's show. And then, of course, tonight is Top Billing, and tonight is going to be my interview with Will Smith and Edward Norton for the film Collateral Beauty, which opened in cinemas last night. It's an amazing film. You have to watch it. It's an absolute tearjerker. I mean, I came back crying because I can't marry Will Smith or Edward Norton
without fainting. How did you
No,
survive?
love him, and Will Smith is just everything. Amazing. Watch Top Billing tonight. It's going to be worth it. Until then, we'll see you again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Good night and happy eating. Bye. This looks amazing.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we enter the ring with professional female fighter Megan McCormack. So let off a little steam with Afternoon Express tomorrow at 5 p.m. on SABC3. Ding, ding, ding.
Another feel-good production.